Thank you, everybody, for joining us here at SurgePays channel. Just want to let you all know what we're going to be doing with this video series here. We're going to be running through company updates and industry updates and answering any questions you guys have. So don't be shy and please send your questions over during any of this. And of course, we will be introducing members of the team. So who better to kick us off for video number one than Chief Executive Officer and Chairman of SurgePays, Brian Cox. Brian, how are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing fantastic, Michael. How about yourself?
Doing pretty well. And what I usually like to do, Brian, to start off is to kind of paint a picture of your past experience so people understand where you're coming from and how you got to where you are today. So prior to getting involved with SurgePays, tell me about some of your successes and what really makes you tick as a businessman.
Yeah, I think that's probably longer than a couple of minutes of what makes me tick, because I think it's as we've discussed before, it's your previous failures and getting back up and trying new things. I've been, I guess about 20 years ago, I started my first company, and I saw a need in the underbanked, underserved market to provide home telephone service back then. To do so, you had to go into the convenience stores and the bodegas at the grassroots level, right around the corner of those communities, and set those stores up to do the activations and take payments for folks that didn't have credit cards, checking accounts, the folks that Bell South here in the Southeast didn't want. Learned a lot through that, traveled all throughout the Southeast for years and years and years. We grew the largest privately held home telephone company in the country. Sold that in 2009 to get into wireless. I saw, it's kind of funny, when I sent my first picture to a buddy of mine through my Motorola Razr, I knew that there was going to be a change coming, and I kind of saw the writing on the wall that, hey, that home dial tone, people are going to be connected through wireless more than they are home phones. So bought a small wireless company, grew that, probably did about $300-500 million in business through that wireless company. And just fast forward to about 5 years ago, I turned 40. I really had accomplished a lot of the goals that I had set out back in the day, and I wanted a new challenge. I wanted a new fight. So we started looking around, and we saw that Whole Foods had just gotten acquired by Amazon. We were looking at some of the deeper dives there, and like, okay, hey, these big guys, they're looking at the data. They're looking at the understanding the digital thumbprint for all of us. And in our world, the underbanked, that third of the country, that 100 million folks, there is no data. Man, we're already out there. We're in these stores. We're providing products. We're providing the wireless service to these customers. So we thought, the best way to maximize this play is to grow as big as we can, but do so through a public vehicle. So, for the exit strategy, the multiple, and also for access to capital. So about 5 years ago, we merged into an OTC company with bluntly, I wanted to learn the ropes a little bit in the minor leagues of the OTC. I guess you say learn how to hit the curveball, which we did. And we also got clocked a few times by a couple of curveballs that we didn't get out of the way of, coming high and inside. But, all joking aside, COVID set us back about a year and a half of getting to NASDAQ, but we did it. We got there, last fall, the Q4 of 2021. And since then have been humming along. So, it's been a heck of a journey. We accomplished getting to NASDAQ, but that was just step one of I'd say our more wider, grander goal.
Awesome, Brian. And on the next video, I'd love to do more of a company overview as a whole, but kind of wrapping up, talking about yourself a bit more. Tell me what you handle as the Chief Executive Officer, like what you do on the day-to-day.
I think we are what we are, and we are what our experiences pile up to be in our life. And my background was in competitive sports. I went to college, on a football scholarship. That's how I was able to attend college. So I structure my companies in the hierarchy, similar to the military, similar to, like, say, for example, like a Nick Saban type team, where you hire adults to be adults. You hire folks to run divisions, to run channels, and be accountable for those channels. So I think the key ingredients to my day are meeting, kind of a 1-minute manager style, except I'm probably more of a 5-minute manager, meeting with my key folks, discussing things with them, maybe issues, challenges, but most importantly, opportunities. Making I think you make, the more employees you bring on, the less decisions you make, but the more important they are and the bigger impact they have. So, the team around you is definitely important for executing your directives. And then it's a constant recalibration, I call it, Give me the feedback. Hey, what would you do? Hey, I like that idea. Run with it. Or hey, how about this? And then go with that. Because at the end of the day, I know I'm accountable for the decisions my team makes. So I do want the input on their decisions, but I let my guys run. I give them a lot of rope and a lot of slack, and that's mostly my day. I enjoy looking at I call it dashboard management. One of the cool thing about having software developers on your team is I've got really, it looks like apps on my iPhone where I can click and see at any given time our sales per day in different channels, how we've done per week, what we're doing, our margins, and you can kind of get no different than driving 100 miles an hour in your car. You can get an overall gist without popping the hood to see
Mhm.
what's going on, to see where you are, the GPS, are we on track? So that's really my management style. And then I have anybody that works for me knows I'm a night owl. So most of my key internal phone calls come after 10 p.m. because during the day, look, I accept my responsibility of being a public company officer and going to conferences. As a matter of fact, I'm heading to a microcap conference tomorrow. So there's a lot of time that I have to spend being the flag bearer of the company, and that takes time. And I wanted to make sure that we as a company never tap the brakes or pull over and slow down if I'm not at the wheel.
Very well said, Brian. Someone had told me once that being a chief executive officer is often the idea of surrounding yourself with people significantly smarter than you in the areas that they're handling and kind of giving them, and you just kind of have that soft hand to kind of guide them. But like as you said, you put faith in them to be able to do what they are there to execute and actually accomplish. So, Brian, I think you did a great job of introducing yourself here. Let's wrap up with just a bonus question of what are you most excited about with SurgePays for the rest of the year that you're able to share?
Rest of the year, I tell you what I'm most excited about. We have a channel right now where we provide mobile broadband service to low income folks, and it's subsidized by the government. I've been working now for 8 months to get non-dilutive funding capital to grow it. Now we've cash flew. We've grown it through cash flow from zero 12 months ago to almost right at $10 million a month just with cash flow and building it, stair step style. We've got that funding coming through, I believe, in the next week or two. Again, it has nothing to do with stock. It's all based on our receivables. I promised everyone out there, our shareholders, that I would not sell stock. First year on NASDAQ, I've kept my word, and we were able to achieve this 10 million plus in funding. So we're over 220,000 subscribers right now, which again is over, we've eclipsed that 10 million a month,
Mhm.
in revenue just for that channel. So I'm really excited to see how we can kind of take this home in Q4 with funding and really escalate that and see if we can't get closer to 300,000. I gave guidance of 200,000 and we've already beat that for the year just
Mhm.
on, I call it red line growth. Grow it as max as you can every month with cash flow and then reset. So I'm really excited to see if we can't get close to that 300,000 subscriber number and see how close we can get to busting over, 125 million in revenue for the year.
Yeah, Brian, you've already accomplished a lot of milestones this year, and I hope everybody continues to follow along while we knock out more. And again, everyone, if you have any questions, do not be shy. Dip your toes in the water. Let us know your thoughts, and we will get back to you. But Brian, thank you so much for coming on and introducing yourself. Please have a wonderful day.
Hey, my pleasure. Looking forward to next time.